If you constantly worry about how you're measuring up, it may be time to take a step back. My next guest says that we can break the compare and despair cycle by asking ourselves some very key questions. Reva Cook is here, a licensed clinical social worker from the Healing Group. And I first want you to break down the differences between these two, the compare and the despair.
Well, as humans, we do compare ourselves to others' life. We evaluate, we try and figure out where we fit in the grand scheme of things. And maybe we can't ever stop doing that, but sometimes that turns into a place where we are feeling less about what we have. We're not enjoying the good things in our life, and then we can feel unhappiness and despair about that. And then we don't enjoy the things that we are blessed with, and we all have good things.
Does it slowly creep in? Is it something that you can recognize right away? I find myself trying to be confident that I don't do that, but then slowly I start to think, well, she did this, or I saw that, or...
I think it can jump up and bite us in the bum when we're not intending it to happen, and it can catch us off guard. We think we're good, and then something kind of triggers us.
What are you seeing people compare themselves to?
Okay, so there's a great question. So I want us to think about that. What are we comparing ourselves to? Social scientists say that we are most likely to compare ourselves to someone who has some similar attributes to us. Most of us don't compare ourselves to the Kardashians. That's like a whole nother universe.
It's not even the same planet.
Right.
I mean, it's not.
But you are going to compare yourself to that social media blogger who also has young kids, or to your neighbor down the street, or to your sister. We compare ourselves to people who are slightly similar, but the problem with that is no two lives are the same, no two histories are the same, so it's really a false comparison.
Okay. How do we stop ourselves? How do we stop the struggle of comparing?
Right. So what I wanted to say is, if you're going to compare, I want you to really compare. I want you to make a good, hard, long list, all the ways you're alike and different from that person.
Okay.
Compare everything, starting with where were they born, how many siblings do they have, what was their parents' relationship like, all the way up to your current place in life. And what we find really quickly happens is we learn we don't really know that much about them. We are comparing a few selected things to our entire life. So if you've heard that saying, we compare others' highlight reels to our blooper reels,
right.
That's very much what we're doing there. So if you're going to compare, really do it, and you're going to see, I don't really know very much here. And also, I'm going to start seeing things that I like about my life, and maybe things that I would not like to have about theirs. So it can kind of help settle that down a little bit.
What would be the next step then to take? So you make this list, you lay it all out there. It's almost like a aha moment.
Yeah. So then you want to think about, what is my reaction to seeing other people's good things?
Okay.
Am I feeling inadequate or sad? Do I feel less than? And that comes from this idea that there's a finite number of good things in the world. And that if you have 10 good things, then I can't have 10 as well.
Well, I want 20.
You can have 20.
I want 20 things.
You can have 20. I can have 20. There's an infinite number of good things in this world. Okay. So comparison brings up this whole idea of your blessings diminish my blessings. So the cure to that is this really cool Buddhist concept called mudita.
Okay.
And what it means is sympathetic joy. It means trying to develop the capacity to feel happy for your happiness.
Okay.
So the good things that happen to you, I feel good about those as well.
So it's almost like you're cheering that person on in a sense.
Exactly.
You turn that mindset around, that you're trying to be happy for that individual in the things that they're being successful in.
And that is an envy killer.
Yes.
It just knocks it out.
It just makes you a better person.
Yes.
I mean,
it also increases the amount of happiness in your own life. If I'm only going to be happy for the good things that happen to me, that limits my happiness. If I'm going to be happy for the good things that happen to you and to other people, my capacity for happiness expands. And happiness and despair do not coexist.
Right.
So having more happiness in my life really helps knock that despair section out.
How do you navigate this with social media then? Because that is where I think it's like a black hole. You go there with the right intentions, and then you get kind of sucked in and deeper and deeper and deeper.
Social media is a trigger for so many of us. And
I mean, it's there around us all the time.
All the time. And you know, before social media, you would hear about other people's good things, you know, once in a while.
When you ran into them or
Right,
yeah.
exactly. And you'd have all this space and time in between to kind of process that. And now you're bombarded at it all the time. And social media algorithms kind of reinforce this because we tend to react to the things that are good. We hit the like button or we make a comment, and the algorithms are set up to just show us more of that.
Yeah, the more it likes and comments it gets, it keeps bumping it up into your feed.
Right. So we want to be really
Selective.
really
it sounds like.
selective. We want to not engage in social media passively. So have a purpose when you go
I
there.
don't know how not to do that.
Right? Have a purpose when you go there. I want to connect with someone.
Yeah.
I want to see what's happening with someone. Don't just mindlessly scroll through things.
Which is something I think we all do as we're winding down for the night, laying in bed. Oh, what's going on Instagram?
I'll
I
just
waste so
calm
much
down
time
while I
there.
do this, and
Yes.
you're not.
Okay, so when is it okay to compare? Is it ever okay to compare?
So I think there's a big difference between comparison and inspiration.
Oh, okay.
And inspiration is something that encourages us to be our best selves. It encourages us to improve, to do better. Comparison causes us to feel less than, to feel bad about our best selves.
Okay.
So there's a huge difference. And sometimes people will tell me, well, I follow XYZ blogger because she inspires me. And I'm like, really? How do you feel when you're done engaging with that?
Right.
That's a good thing about noticing what's triggering us. What truly makes us feel inspired and better, and what is making us feel worse.
Is there a point too when we have to put the responsibility on ourselves as posters as well?
I think that's something we can think about, especially if we have a large number of followers. Even if we don't, though,
What's the intent?
we get affected by what other people post. So maybe we don't want to post brag stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe we want to, post things that are going to be uplifting to everyone. We can strive to have more of that inspirational vibe versus the look how great this is vibe.
But it was about a year ago that even I had that kind of inner conversation with myself. Why am I posting certain things? And that I wanted my social media feed to be positive, something that inspires positivity in a sense too. So I think, yeah, there is a little bit of both. Like put out there what you want to follow as well, you know, and be that voice.
Yeah.
Where can we go for more information?
So I'm with the Healing Group
Okay.
at thehealinggroup.com. And also you can follow my social media, which is really positive.
There we go.
At Reva Cook, LCSW.
Thank you so much. We love the insight. It's always a good reminder to just rethink what we're doing when it comes to our social media lives. So thank you. Appreciate it.